I'm not going to make this much longer. I'll just get right to Kate. We're going to have the cut in the editing, right?
Yeah.
Here's Kate.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming here. Let me start with a short video I edited first. You might have seen these movies before, or if you haven't yet, you might have heard how fantastic these movies are. When it comes to this kind of movies, what comes to your mind first? What do the movies have in common? Yes, visual effects is really cool and amazing. Hello, my name is Kate. I'm from Korea. I majored in digital production, which is about visual effects in post-production in filmmaking. Today, I'm so honored to be here talking about visual effects, and now I'm so excited and enthusiastic about talking about visual effects. When I was a little girl, less than 10 years old, I used to always imagine what is up to with the universe. What if dinosaurs show up to the world? Or suddenly I run into aliens from other planets. Actually, it didn't take a long time to see them in front of me. After just a few years, I was able to see everything I pictured before, and even beyond what I imagined. I still remember the time when I first watched Terminator 2 with my family. It was so cool and so amazing, so crazy movie. I was really amazed by visual effects. For example, the bad characters look like a human, a half human being and a half robot. I felt like during this movie, I felt like just watching dreams. This movie made me keep curious about, keep wondering about visual effects in film, and keep thinking about what was happening next in films. Over the last 100 years, visual effects has been developed dramatically. So we've seen alien, monsters, dinosaurs, space, and even something non-existent. Even though we have already seen a lot of things, and filmmakers still continuously create more, we still have a strong desire to make fantasy that makes us dream more. So, I give you a question. How have you seen fantasy? Today, I picked 3 movies which are very amazing and the most memorable in past visual effects history. Before I start with the 3 movies, I wanna quickly talk about the difference between special effects and visual effects. Basically, visual effects and special effects are really similar, almost same. But visual effects, also known as VFX, is all kind of digital cinematic techniques based on computer graphics, which is, for example, digital characters like King Kong in the movie King Kong 2005, and special effects is also known as SFX. is more like classical method before computer graphics came out. So I'm gonna talk about the first movie. The first movie I want to show you is A Trip to the Moon. Let me show you a short clip.
Soul dimensions. Suddenly, the shell pierces the eye of the moon. Thus in the interior, thanks to the advance they have succeeded in gaining over the
This movie was made in 1902, and this is not just black and white movie. It was revolution. The director of this movie, George Méliès, put all kinds of special effects that people had never seen before in this film, like special makeup, time-lapse, fade, and dissolve. And at that time, nobody tried to make a film like this. George Méliès is the first filmmaker who actually used special effects. And next, next movie that I want to show is really cool movie. I will show you a short clip. Can you believe this movie was made in 1968? This movie is really cool and very amazing. When I first watched this movie, I couldn't believe this movie was made in 1968. And even so far, this movie, I forgot to name this movie. This movie name is 2001 Space Odyssey. This movie, even so far, this movie still looks so elegant and chic. After this movie, visual effects has more become fascinating and developed this so much. So, what do you think the next movie is? I can't miss talking about Star Wars. Star Wars is a kind of big turning point of visual effects. This movie showed us there was no limits to our imagination. In this film, everything was new, everything was so creative. So, from now, I'm gonna talk about one of the greatest SF movies ever made, Avatar. It has been more than 3 years since Avatar was first released, but when it comes to 3D movies, Avatar is still ranked first. When I first watched Avatar, I felt like it was so crazy, and I felt like I can touch bugs, flowers, and even small dust. So now I'm thinking, how did they make this film? Avatar team used the motion capture technique that changed real people to digital characters. The first picture show shows, they photographed actors' face to get facial features, and they try to understand how to design their characters. And after that, they put an actor in a suit, like this, in a suit with markers, and the markers will become information of actors' movement. And they recorded actors' performance using tons of cameras in a huge room, which is called volume. And then computers created real-time moving skeletons like this, and they put computer graphics on the skeleton, like here. These three pictures on the bottom show they also try to catch actors' emotions. So they fix a little tiny cameras like here, and to catch every single change in their facial muscle. So that's how avatar characters were born. Here's short filmmaking scene.
You weren't just doing a voice performance.
I threatened you!
Trust me, man. Please.
You got that! Guys, like you got that! You're a pig! You will never be one of the people!
As you see this film, the avatar characters are so natural, like exactly same as real person. So after Avatar, visual effects has been more developed. So now I'm gonna talk about. Oh no, before move on to the next point, I'm gonna show you final amazing work.
They sent us a message that they can take whatever they want. But we will send them a message. That this is our land!
Yes, it's so amazing, still really wonderful. And I'm gonna talk about the curious case of Benjamin Button. Maybe you might have seen these films, and you might have heard the story of this film. And here's short clip.
I told you, I wasn't getting older. I was getting younger than everybody else.
Oh, 7, but I'm not older.
Yes, you might have heard the story of this film, but nobody noticed. Actually, the main character, Brad Pitt, was created by computer graphics. Even I didn't notice it, but after I searched for this film on the internet, I was so shocked. Here is making film.
I told you, I wasn't getting older. I was getting younger than everybody else.
At that time, the motion capture technique was so popular, like Avatar, but Benjamin Button team didn't choose the motion capture technique because they had to make these sort of characters just looks like just real person. So they created new techniques. At first, they put luminous material on Brad Pitt's face, and then this face will become 3D database. Like this. And then Brad Pitt acted Benjamin Button watching the movie that was filmed before. After that, Benjamin Button team make a digital person with 3D database and Brad Pitt's acting. Finally, they put Brad Pitt's face into body actor's body. So this is not Brad Pitt's body. It is body actor's body, and this is this third person. So therefore, they actually break the wall between reality and fantasy. So now, let me make a conclusion. How far down does the rabbit hole go? This is catchphrase of the movie Matrix in 2003. As you know, the rabbit hole is the hole in the fairy tale Alice in Wonderland. Alice went into the hole to see and catch the rabbit. The rabbit is Alice's curiosity and imagination. Alice followed her curiosity by following the rabbit. That's the thought I would leave you with is you should be Alice. Follow your curiosity. As the rabbit takes Alice to Wonderland, films take you a whole new level. Thank you.
Okay, that was a quite an illuminating presentation. Illuminating? My engine is starting to run out of gas.
Sorry.
Okay, let's get some comments from the judges. We'll start with Andrew this time.
Okay, thank you. All right. So, yes, I mean, I know recently you were kind of struggling, I think, with your sort of script for your presentation. I know even yesterday. So I just wanted to say, I mean, I don't know if you, to what extent you memorized it or not. It doesn't matter. You certainly made it appear like you were just speaking fluently and comfortably, and that's great. It's really good. So your presentation was kind of different because you sort of, I didn't really know until the very end what you were sort of doing, and it was almost like a personal, you know, kind of personal discovery with film or something, and that but then it does sort of leave you thinking at the end. So as opposed to just teaching some people something directly. So it was kind of nice in that way. It was very good. Yeah. So let's see what else. Okay. Yeah. Just to say, great improvement. Thank you.
Good preparation, eye contact, you looked at the audience. What I liked was a speaker can get more attention from the audience if they tell the audience a bit about themselves. So remember when she said when she was 10, it was a personal journey because it was her curiosity that caused this whole speech to begin with. And when you're listening to a speaker, you always want to hear a little bit about them so you know who they are. So she touched on that, and she said, when I was little, I was wondering, and then before you know it, what I was thinking in my mind, or dreaming about, or imagining, came onto the screen. So I like that personal connection between the message and her experience as a child. Next thing, you're very familiar with the material, so again, I second what you mentioned. It didn't feel like you were giving a speech, it just felt like you were talking to people about something you were very comfortable in. And I think that's a testimony to your passion about the topic and your preparation. So great job.
Thank you.
I have to say, the movies you showed there,